All-stars are being signed, all-stars are being traded, and the White Sox are sneaky good? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Good Sports For You, where we are talking about good sports for you. I'm just going to give a big update on all the trades, all the deals that have been happening recently, but before we hop into it, I want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. So the first one that we got, the Rangers get former All-Star, or current All-Star, I should say, MacKenzie Gore, in exchange for a plethora of prospects from the Washington Nationals. This is a big-time deal, honestly, that I don't think is going to get enough attention. MacKenzie Gore is an extremely talented pitcher. And from what you may remember, he was part of the Juan Soto deal. So this trade for the Nationals is still paying off in dividends for a very small part of Soto's contract as a whole way back when. And now they got like a million prospects and like multiple like good players. But MacKenzie Gore's a really good pitcher. Before the All-Star break, he had an ERA around the threes, which is fantastic. He still has another year left after this year before he becomes a free agent. So the Rangers have time to like play around a little bit with him, to figure out what they got. And also he's just good. Like he can legit be a front end starter. He could be your 2. He could be your 3. They already got that rotation with DeGrom and Eovaldi, but health and everything like that with them too is always going to be a question. You got Kumar Rocker there. You got Jack Leiter. So it's like you're building a solid rotation, and MacKenzie Gore is only going to add to that. And then on the national side of things, I actually really like this deal. I mean, you're getting 5 prospects in return, all of whom are in your top 30. So I really like that. But also, prospects are prospects. And I'm kind of like, you don't know what they're going to turn into. You hope that one of the prospects turns into a guy like MacKenzie Gore, but then are you just going to ship him away? My question is just, when does the rebuild end, and when do you start paying off the fruits of your labor, essentially? When do you say, okay, we're putting the chips in, because it's clearly not this year. It's not going to be next year. Is it going to be like 2030? I don't know. Moving on to the White Sox. They signed Sir Anthony Dominguez. I like the deal. It's a 2-year deal, $20 million. It's not very expensive for a very solid reliever. So it's like you're improving to the bullpen depth. You could always use a guy like that in your bullpen. And they also traded for Jordan Hicks and the number 8 prospect from the Red Sox, and 2 players to be named later and cash in exchange for 1 prospect and 1 player to be named later. I like this deal too. Like Jordan Hicks, he has his issues. He walks a bunch of people. He has no control. But at the end of the day, he's a big league guy. And isn't that what you want? And also they signed Austin Hayes on a 1-year deal. That's another good deal. I'm sorry. He's a former All-Star. Like if he can get back to his former self, I think it was 2023 that he was an All-Star. You're looking at this team and you're not very upset. Like, yes, they traded Luis Robert. Yes, that's not ideal because he's a good player. Luis Angel Acuna is no pushover either, though. I actually think that the White Sox have a very, very underrated offseason, including getting Manutaka Murakami, who has the potential to be one of the best players coming over from Japan this year. I just think it's a really solid deal, and they could be pushing up in the future. I mean, the AL Central isn't the strongest in the world, so why not? Why not make a push right now or in the next year? And they got a really young, strong core that I really like it, honestly. I like how the team's shaping up. I didn't expect to be saying that about the White Sox this offseason, but I am. The Giants also got a couple big-time deals, signing Harrison Bader to a 2-year contract, reportedly worth $20.5 million. Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic defender, and you get a huge boost at the center field defense because their outfield wasn't the best defensively this past season. So you're getting one of the best defensive center fielders in the game right now. He also has a decent bat. Like, people forget about that. So I really, really like the deal. Although I would have liked it if the Phillies were able to bring him back, but unfortunately they weren't able to. And they also signed Luis Arraez to a 1-year contract reportedly worth $12 million. 3-time All-Star, 3-time batting crown winner. Plays second base. Now you got a really nice infield. You're looking at that infield. Matt Chapman, one of the most underrated and best third basemen in the game. Willy Adames at shortstop, a perpetual guy who's just kind of like, is this his all-star season? Could he break out for an MVP? He's always going to be good. He's always going to be solid with them. Like their first 30 home run season since like Barry Bonds or something crazy like that. And then at first base, you got Rafael Devers, who's one of the best first basemen in the game. He's one of the best bats. Make sure to go check out my first baseman ranking video that I posted yesterday. So just overall, I think that the Giants are shaping up to have a really interesting offseason. I don't know if I love it yet, but I mean, hey, signing big leaguers are going to make your team better, and that's what they have to do at the end of the day if they want to compete for a wild card spot, because I know they're not winning the West. And then we got some extensions that I wanted to talk about because this is super fun. Jose Ramirez, obviously with the Guardians, signed a big ol' extension, 7 years through 2032, worth $175 million. This is an awesome deal for all sides involved. Jose Ramirez was basically like, I don't really care about the money. I want to stay in Cleveland. And that's basically what he's doing. Full no trade clause, an annual salary of $25 million a year from now until 2032, like I said, with $10 million deferred each season to be paid starting in 2036. That's awesome for all sides involved. Now the Guardians have more money to spend on the players that they want out in free agency, or if they want to make some moves, stuff like that. Maybe sign Steven Kwan to an extension, something like that. Those are the moves that these kind of extensions allow to happen. You have one of the best players in the game saying, I'm willing to take a huge hometown discount. I cannot stress that enough. We just saw Kyle Tucker sign for $60 million. Jose Ramirez is better than Kyle Tucker by every single imaginable way. He could have gone out and signed an absolutely massive contract, but he decided to say, hey, you know what? I am sticking here. This is what I want to do. But I also want to read the rest of these perks because these are fun. His award bonuses have doubled. Among them, he would receive $500,000 for winning MVP, $300,000 for landing second or third, and $150,000 for a fourth or fifth place finish. And he is to receive other perks, including travel on a private jet if he attends the All-Star game and an extra hotel room for road trips. I love it. Why not throw in those perks in there? Absolutely love it. And then another extension that I absolutely love is Jacob Wilson with the Athletics, a 7-year deal worth $70 million and an 8th-year club option. Now the Athletics have all of their guys locked up long-term. Tyler Soderstrom just signed an extension. Lawrence Butler is under an extension. Nick Kurtz just had his rookie season, so he's got tons of years of arbitration and everything like that. And now Jacob Wilson just signed a huge contract. And also, I love signing the extensions because then once you get to arbitration, a team like the Athletics, where they know that they're not willing to fish out the top dollars, if Jacob Wilson continues on his path, he's going to be an all-star plenty of times, right? When you get to arbitration, they're probably going to say, hey, we're going to want more money. And now they're basically like, hey, we're paying you $10 million every single year from now, where he would be making substantially less than $10 million, to 7 years in the future, he would be making a lot more than $10 million. So you find this happy in between. It allows you flexibility to spend in the future while keeping your guys for the now. I just love what the Athletics have been doing with their contract extensions this offseason. Just fantastic work. But then we got the two big deals that I wanted to talk about. That's Eugenio Suárez to the Cincinnati Reds on a 1-year deal worth of $15 million and a mutual option, which isn't going to be accepted. I thought he would sign for way more. This offseason has been so interesting. There have been people signing for absolutely huge contracts, and the guys that you're like, you couldn't get more than that. He hit 49 home runs last season. Yes, I know his second half wasn't as good. I know he wasn't as good with the Mariners. He is a good player. And you know the last time he hit 49 home runs in a season? He was playing in that Cincinnati Reds uniform. He loves hitting at Great American Ballpark. Obviously, like I was looking at the numbers, he has like an 850 OPS there over a ton of games. He is one of the best sluggers in the game. Yes, the defense isn't where you want it to be. That's why I got Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base. Ke'Bryan Hayes is one of the best defenders in all of baseball. I love him, but I mean, I had way high expectations for him. But Suárez, so it's like, you know you're not going to be necessarily needing to play third base all the time. You're going to be DHing a lot. Why not go out and sign this huge bat, which is going to help your team so much, and it makes the Reds just so much more of a contender. I love the move for them. And then another move that I love is the Mariners acquiring Brandon Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals. This is kind of an interesting trade. It's a 3-team deal. All sorts of pieces are involved. Basically, the Mariners are getting Brandon Donovan, who is a good player. He's an all-star caliber player. He was just an all-star this past year. I saw a really interesting tweet from Jeff Passan comparing him and Bo Bichette. Listen to this slash line from Brandon Donovan. 282 average, 351 on base percentage, 420 slugging for a 117 WRC plus, which is weighted runs created plus. It's basically the same as OPS plus. He's 17% better than league average for 7.5 Fangraphs WAR. Fangraphs is just another site. Same thing as Baseball Reference WAR, they just measure slightly different things. But basically, it's his general value, right? And then you have Bo Bichette, who signed this massive contract, 291, so a 9-point difference, 333, so like 20 points worse, and then 445, 25 points better, and a 116 WRC plus, so 1 point worse, and 8 F-WAR. And this was a look at them over their past 3 seasons. So when you're looking at it, you're like, wow, you got Brandon Donovan on an absolute steal. So I love the move for the Mariners. The Mariners did give up a bit, though. They gave up some good prospects, including Jurangelo Cenci, who's a top 100 prospect, but he is the most interesting player maybe in all of minor league baseball because he throws ambidextrous. He can throw left-handed and he can throw righty. According to sources, he's only going to be pitching, I think, righty this season, so he's only going to be limiting himself to one side just because the numbers were a lot better. But he's just a fun, interesting prospect to look at. I mean, if he could actually pitch both sides really, really well moving forward, like that could be awesome. And he's in the top 100. The Cardinals also got another top 30 prospect from Seattle, and they got another prospect and also 2 competitive balance picks from round B. And then the Rays are in there too, and they got Ben Williamson from the Mariners, who's a good player. He just turned 25. He put up 3.1 Baseball Reference WAR in 85 games. Very Rays type player, light hitting guy. Plays good defense. We'll see what the Rays can do with him. But I love the move for the Mariners. Their team, I think, just got better. Jorge Polanco was kind of the guy that you lost, and Eugenio Suárez was the guy that you lost. Now you got a guy who can play a good utility basically anywhere you need to put him. If you need to put him at third, absolutely. If you need to put him at second, absolutely. I really, really like the move for him, and he's a good bat. I like the move for the Mariners. I like the move for Brandon Donovan to be on a team that's going to be competing, unlike he was on the St. Louis Cardinals. But that is all I got for you. So there were a lot of really exciting deals, obviously highlighted by Suárez and Brandon Donovan, but those extensions are also awesome. And MacKenzie Gore, don't want to sleep on that, and Luis Arraez. Obviously, the defense is definitely questionable for him, but, with the bat that he has, with the contact that he can make, he just provides a very unique tool for any team. So it'll be exciting to see what he brings to the Giants. But overall, a lot of good moves by some teams that are on very different levels of success right now. But we will see what happens. But that is all I got for you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I'm out. Peace.